Hello everyone, I hope everyone's having a fantastic day and welcome to this very unusual live. Nice to see so many people. Can we do, before I start guys, a sound check? Make sure everyone can hear me. Just let me know down below with a 1 if you can hear me. Take my headphones out for a minute. Ron, how are you? Ravi, Kent, Lynn, hope you're all well. Just woke up, morning Dan, hope you're well. I'm mega excited as usual guys, I'm always excited to bring these type of things. Now this is what we normally do. This is different to what we normally do, really different. Really different to what we normally do. Normally everything we do is about traffic, converting traffic, creating shortcuts, everything else. This is really different, okay? This is really different to what I normally do. Now, I've been involved in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for a long while, okay? I've been doing it myself probably. In fact, I looked yesterday when I first bought my first Bitcoin and it was 2017. So that's what, 4 years ago. And I bought that when it was 3,700. And I bought some just before that when it was 1,800 pounds, I think that was, rather than dollars. And obviously it's shot up a lot since, it's gone down a lot. And if you don't know anything about cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin or what they are, don't worry, I have got someone I class as an expert on this, okay? There's a lot of people out there that they post about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies when they become the fashion, then that goes away and then they're posting about something else again just to try and get some people into their new scheme, whatever that is. This guy, okay, has been doing cryptocurrencies for about 4 years solid. He's been in cryptocurrencies for a number of years. I'll let him tell. I think it's about 7-8 years now, mate. Since pretty much just after it started. But I'll let this guy tell you about it. I actually known this guy for 6-7 years myself. Okay, he was a solo ad vendor. And he moved over to this. He was looking for a way to get paid. Found cryptocurrency and moved over completely to it. So someone I trust, is someone I like a lot, and you guys will like him too. And he will show what he knows about cryptocurrencies. Now, how many people have tried anything with cryptocurrencies before? Bitcoin, Ethereum, that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't, let me just put no. Just put no in the comments below. And then we know where to start. Guys, if you don't worry. We've got this guy coming on. He's going to explain it all to you. Again, this is a bit different to what we normally do, but this is the first income stream multiplier. Graham, how are you, mate? Dorit has. Brilliant. Because sometimes they can be a little bit confusing. You see it all and you think, what's this? What's that? Like, what the hell's a Bitcoin? What all these different cryptocurrencies? Been doing it for a while. Brilliant, Vintage. Graham? No. David says no. Yeah, loads, says Mandy. Syed says no. Brilliant. So we know there's kind of a 50-50. And that's the thing, Pearl. Pearl says, yes, been scammed. This is why we want to put this on, guys. A lot of people get contacted and they're promised these weird and wonderful returns. Okay, being scammed by 3 platforms, exactly. This is what we want to stop happening, guys. I've seen people in this group join these programs. All right, I want that to stop. Okay, and you're going to see why when Paul comes on, how he can help and how you can learn cryptocurrencies the right way. Okay, so I'm going to bring my special guest on. Let me just change over my screen. This guy's name is Paul. Paul, how are you, mate? They can see you.
Right.
Just let me know, guys, you can see Paul and you can hear him.
Can you hear me?
Just let me know in the comments. There's about a 20-second delay with this. There's about a 20-second delay. Anyway, this is Paul, guys. I know Paul for 6-7 years when I first heard of you. Anyway, and when it comes to cryptocurrencies, this is the go-to guy. Okay, what we're about to show you today is the first thing I ever done when it comes to cryptos. This is what got me into it. I now have 6 figures of cryptocurrencies in my portfolio because of what I've learned. Okay, so Paul, tell the guys a bit about yourself and how you fell in love with cryptocurrencies.
All right, cheers, mate. So yeah, my name's Paul D'Souza. I currently live in Johannesburg in South Africa. Although I've lived in a couple of places around the world, and one of those places was the Philippines. And while I was living there, it's when I came across crypto and started taking it quite seriously about 6-7 years ago. And it was out of necessity. I've told the story a number of times, but PayPal had shut my account down. I used to do traffic. I used to sell a lot of traffic. And if PayPal doesn't understand your business model, they will freeze your account. And that's exactly what they did to me. And they froze my account with a lot of money in it. And I was kind of stuck. Now, a friend of mine had been trying to tell me about Bitcoin, and I really was not interested. I didn't want to know what this Bitcoin thing was. And until I needed it, and I went back to him and I said to him, listen, I'm a bit stuck here, but can I use this Bitcoin thing to send and receive money? And he gave me a crash course on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And when he was done, what I saw was it wasn't just a means to make money. I saw something that was going to completely and utterly change the world. And it was at that point that I knew exactly what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I had gone around looking around online, trying to find more information, and a lot of the information was like very disparate. It was all over the place. There wasn't any type of place that could teach a person from A to Z about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So that at that point, I decided I was going to do something about that, because the one thing that is missing from the space is education. And then my partner and I started talking about putting something together. And that's how we got started in our company, and that's what we focus on. We focus on the 2 different facets of education in cryptocurrencies. The one side, we teach people about the basics, like what Bitcoin is, how it came to be, why it came to be. And on the flip side, we teach people various ways to make money from cryptocurrencies. And one of the big ones is through trading. We teach people a method of trading that, if followed to the T, works. It just works. And we fine-tuned that over the last 4 years. We've been around for nearly 4 years now, and we fine-tuned that to the point where anyone who follows the system to the T, there's no reason why they cannot become a successful day trader. Yeah. Anything else you want me to mention, mate? Wayne?
No, that's awesome. Exactly. So, Janika says, recently introduced to crypto, and this is the exact information she needs to hear. The important thing is, guys, that we want to get across, that I want to get across. Cryptocurrencies are not a scam, right? A lot of programs that come along are a scam. Cryptocurrencies are the future, and that's what you got to think. So you've got to think, how do I get, if you're not on the cryptocurrency kind of knowledge train yet, how do you get into it? And that is the whole point. Stay to the end. I'll show you the best source for cryptocurrency education. Okay, it's that simple. So we've talked about the future. Now let's talk about the thing that I think most people want to hear, which is the different ways to make money from Bitcoin, the proper ways to make money from Bitcoin. Not the give me 1 Bitcoin, I'll turn it into 3 for you next week.
All right. So this is going to be a little bit of a educational session. I don't mind. I love talking about crypto. I love teaching.
These guys, are they the 4 ways? There are other little ways as well, like ICOs and things like that. Does that make sense, guys? Any questions on what we covered there?
ICOs, I can answer that really quickly. An ICO is an initial coin offering. It's very similar to an IPO. That's when a company would list a stock on the stock exchange, and they have like a pre-sale so that people can buy before it actually gets listed. And then often the day that it gets listed, it shoots through the roof. They sell, they make a fortune. But there are a lot of instances where the exact opposite has happened. And one of those, or 2 that I know most notably, is Snapchat and Facebook. A lot of people thought that Facebook stock was going to fly through the roof the day that it was listed. And guess what? It went down. It kind of it went the opposite way that people were thinking. And I would advise people to, if you're going to start dabbling in ICOs, it's a gamble. Unless, of course, you take the time, read the white paper, get to research every single person involved in the project. Look at who's running it. Look at those people individually, because a lot of their websites will say, here's our advisory board, and we got this guy from this country and that guy from this place, and whatever the case is. Go and Google those people. Go and look for their LinkedIn profiles. Go and do your research to see. And the one thing that you can do is type the person's name space scam. Type the person's name space scam. You keep doing that in Google. If a person has been involved in some type of a scam or whatever the case is, you do not want to get involved with that ICO whatsoever. Like, rather stay away. But ICOs can pay off if you do your homework, if you choose them really, really carefully, and for good reason. And whatever you do, do not get emotionally involved. Do not let emotions make any decisions for you. You need to allow logic to dictate when you are participating in things like ICOs. And I'll give you a very good example of the path I took when investing into an ICO. One of those ICOs that I made a lot of money from was Tezos. Now, there was a reason, okay? Ethereum, a lot of people fell in love with Ethereum. Ethereum was a game changer in terms of what they could do, allowing people to write applications on top of their network layer, and also the smart contracts and all the rest. The one thing, however, is that it was badly built. Okay, and now Ethereum kind of has to undo what they started in order to move forward with Ethereum 2.0. Right? Don't know if a lot of people know that, but there's two different versions of Ethereum. Ethereum 2 will eventually take over from where Ethereum is. Ethereum 2 will be proof of stake. Currently, Ethereum is proof of work, which is mining. So you can currently only mine Ethereum, but moving forward into the future, not just yet, when Ethereum 2 launches, then you'll be able to stake it, okay? And Tezos was a company that went, okay, we're going to build a platform very similar to Ethereum, except we're not going to build it badly. We're going to do things from the ground up and build it with all the features and its own programming language and its platform and everything and its ecosystem, without the mistakes that Ethereum made, okay? And that stuck in my mind. I thought, okay, let me dig a little bit further into it. Now, before I continue there, back in the early part of 2017, when Bitcoin was just $700, there was a gentleman by the name of Tim Draper, who's a large venture capitalist. He called $10,000 in 2017 and he went live on TV saying, listen, this Bitcoin thing is going to go to $10,000 this year. People thought he was absolutely nuts. Now, Tim Draper was half wrong, because Bitcoin actually went to 20,000 that year. Okay, so that made me go, okay, so this is a bit of an important guy. Then I read that Tezos was at that time, the only other cryptocurrency that he had ever mentioned or spoke about or wanted to be linked to other than Bitcoin. So that made me go, okay, so Tezos, they're trying to fix a problem. It was Ethereum's massive issue. Okay, and one of the other issues that Ethereum faces today is the price of their fees to send and receive coins on the network is currently heavy. And you know what else is good about it? I had a look at who was behind the project. I realized that Tim Draper had spoken highly of them. So I decided, yes, okay, I would go then forward. I read their white paper, understood it, understood their vision. I knew exactly what they were trying to do, and I invested into that ICO. I bought coins at 40 cents. Today it's $3 odd. Okay, that is how it's done. It's not wish. You know, you've got to do the work, folks. Otherwise, all you're doing is gambling. And I don't want you to gamble. I would rather you take the time and research where your money's going to.
That's massive, mate. If anyone think that that's massive advice. Two pairs.
Okay, so when we talk about pairs, right, we're talking one asset versus another, and that it could be the dollar versus anything really. I mean, right across the board, without looking at cryptocurrencies, trading would be anything from trading. Like on Forex, you'd have the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, or the South African rand versus the Great British pound. Those are pairs, okay, when we talk about pairs. On the stock exchange, it could be the US dollar versus Tesla stock. That's a pair. In cryptocurrency circles, like Bitcoin versus Ethereum would be a trading pair. The US dollar versus Bitcoin would be a trading pair. Tezos versus Binance Coin, that's a trading pair. Now, how trading works is it's almost like bidding, like on an auction, okay, where the idea is to bid on a cryptocurrency that you want to try and buy at a lower price, and then as soon as you get it, try and sell it at a higher price because the markets move. So like there's all this volatility, and the idea is to try and find a wave or a pattern where something is about to come down and you wait for it to come down, and as soon as it comes down, you try and pinpoint an entry point where you wish to buy, and then when it climbs against its counterpart, its pair, then you sell. Okay. Now the beauty of it is there's so many cryptocurrency pairs, right? There's so many that that you'll never be at a loss for like looking at different pairs. So when people think trading Bitcoin, maybe they think, well, you're just trading against the dollar. No, folks, there is so many different currency pairs on various exchanges that you can actually trade against. I wouldn't even know where to start telling you, because you can trade Bitcoin against almost everything. You can trade the US dollar against almost everything. You can trade Binance coin against almost anything on Binance. Binance is an exchange. You can trade Ethereum versus almost anything. So if you can imagine that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of different currency pairs, and the idea is exactly the same. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Look, you could invest long term buying a coin and selling when it's high. But the thing is, nothing ever goes in a straight line in crypto. It does this. It goes up and down. So along the way, there's this journey where we see it go up and down and up and down. And every time that it goes up, we sell. Every time it comes down, we buy. Okay? You might make 10% in a straight line. But if you had to do this and buy every time it did that, and buy and sell every time it did that, you might make 60%. So trading is a really, really good way to make money with crypto, and we're gonna talk a little bit about more about that, aren't we, Wayne?
Yeah. Does that make sense? What, for those that didn't understand what trading is, does it make sense now what it is? And it's literally that, like, and the prices change all the time, don't they? Literally every few seconds you can see the prices change. You buy, so it's really it's fantastic watching it. Does that make sense? Any questions about trading, guys? If you didn't know what it was, let me know it makes sense. Just put in the comments that made sense. Otherwise, we'll talk about it a little more. Just want to make sure before we move on that makes sense, guys. So let me know in the comments. I know there's a bit of a delay. That's basically all there is to it. Linda says yes. Thanks, Linda. Melanie said yes. Brilliant. Awesome. And I know Jason says yes. A few people said it didn't. It does now, but it is that simple. Now, you'd think it would be that easy. You buy one and you sell on the other, but you got the fact there's all these different cryptocurrencies, okay, which kind of makes it a bit more hectic. But also, which Paul explained, now you've got different trading platforms, so that comes into it as well. So different trading platforms often have different prices for these coins as well, don't they? Which makes it more.
Yeah, the differences are I mean, there's arbitrage opportunities. That's sort of another way to make money from crypto, but it's very similar to trading, where you might have exchange A. An exchange would be like the stock exchange, but in crypto terms, there's so many different exchanges. And we at Icoin Pro, we just focus on the biggest ones. It's the ones with the most volume. Volume is really, really important. It's one of the things that we look at, and we'll teach you about that, because you might get to where you want to sell. The price might get to where you want to sell. But if there's no volume, nobody's buying, then you're going to lose your trade. All right. But there are so many different exchanges, all right, and they all got their own interfaces. So you got, for example, Bittrex. Bittrex, the interface is a little bit difficult to use, and it's a bit archaic if you ask me. You got Poloniex, which is probably a little bit more of an intuitive interface to use, and then you got Binance, who are continuously updating. They're the biggest on the planet. Theirs is a little bit easier to use, and they also use a lot of them use graphs from a website called TradingView. TradingView is a website that is used by traders regardless of what they trade. They could be trading Forex, cryptocurrencies, stocks, commodities, anything like that. And a lot of exchanges do pull information, and they do use the charts from TradingView. Binance does, and it won't take you too long to figure out, and we actually show you how to figure out how to actually work everything and how to set up your graphs. So I know that you've seen I'm sure everybody has seen like these blue wavy lines, and you've got the red and the green candles and whatever the case is. And folks, I know that it might seem like it's very difficult to figure out what these things are. you know what? When you break it down into small, bite-sized pieces, it is so easy to understand. And we do that. Like we break it down into these small, easy to bite, easy to swallow bites that explain what a green candle is and what a red one means and what volume is and so on and so on. And coupled together with that, you can also overlay these things called technical indicators. And the technical indicators are like those blue wavy lines and so on. And all of those kind of give us an idea. And this is where we start introducing people to the basics of what is known as technical analysis, which we use in conjunction with our trading. We only touch on the very, very basic stuff. If you want to become like a swing trader or a trend trader, whatever the case is, all right, that's when you start diving deeper into technical analysis. But as day traders, what we do is we just introduce you to the real basics, the easy to use ones, and the ones that we've discovered actually work, and we show you how to overlay them on top of your graphs, and we'll show you when to buy in when it looks like something, and then when to sell when it does something else.
Yeah. So basically, guys, basically you look at the trading pairs and you find signals. That these guys give you signals and say, right, this should go in your favour, buy it. Okay, and that's kind of how it works. There's things out there that give you signals, okay, that whether you should buy it or not. They're not always accurate, but you're looking for as high as accurate as possible most of the time. Now let's talk about, so when you're trading these pairs, what kind of percentages are you looking for to win? Like, what kind of percentages do you see?
People look for different percentages depending on the type of trading that they're doing. So like trend traders, they kind of look for the bigger home run trades, and they don't mind waiting weeks or days. But day traders try and close all their trades within the same day. Okay, you can actually take a cryptocurrency graph, and you can look at it at different time intervals, from 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. We as day traders, we look at everything at 1 hour, and we use the 5 minutes as well. So we look at everything through 5-minute glasses as well as 1 hour, because the idea is, as a day trader, you want to try and close your trades within the same day. The trend traders they look at more long-term things. They might look at only days and weeks, or look at months and so on. Sorry, my throat's really, really dry out.
That's right. That's why I always have 2 drinks with me, mate.
Yeah, I've only got one. I did have a coffee, yeah, but it's done now. Yeah. Right. We then break it down into like these small sections, and we then teach you like how to start off your first trade.
Technical indicators.
Well,
was it technical indicators?
It monitors the technical indicators and spits out probabilities.
Cool.
When you take those, coupled together with the training, because we teach you how to read the graphs, how to do everything, and you couple those together, then we actually feed you potential trades. That's what it does. It gives you the potential trades, and it's up to you to actually then pull the trigger, because we are not licensed to trade on behalf of other people. And I promise you, if we said that we were, after what I taught you in the beginning, you'd run in the opposite direction. Do not ever trust anybody to trade for you. So we teach you how to create that skill to make money on demand. But that's the reality, folks, is when you master this, you're actually mastering a skill that you can take anywhere in the world with you and make money on demand. So some of the people that trade with us or trade using our system, they make a full-time living making money on demand. Some of them go, oh, okay, I need some petrol money. They do a few trades, they cash it out, and off they go. That is the reality. Yeah.
Tell us the story, which you told me. Yes.
You want to know about Lee?
Yeah, yesterday, I think, how she turned $100. Tell us that story, because this is the power of compound, guys. You have to really get the power of compound and to see how powerful this stuff is.
Well, I'll couple a couple of stories together, because it was a girl called Lee and a friend of hers called Lily, and they joined Icoin Pro when we first launched. And between the two of them, they knew absolutely nothing about Bitcoin. They'd heard about it. They wanted to learn a little bit more. And Lee, she approached her husband and she said, "Listen, I want to try this trading thing, and I want to put like $100 into it." Now they used to do a pizza night once a week, and she said to her husband, "I'll tell you what, if we can give up a couple of weeks of pizza night, so I've got the $100, I want to give this trading thing a go." She took that $100, and in a space of about 2 years, she turned it into $115,000. Now, the last time that I spoke to her was back in probably the beginning of last year, the beginning of 2020, when she had surpassed $115,000. From then until now, she's probably made another $100,000. Traveled, and they like our poster kids for the company, because they success stories, and they're very.
You want to show you guys, okay? Who wants to see the tools that these guys have put together? These, I'll let you say. I think we've got enough time to probably just show one, maybe like the squeeze you mentioned, the Bollinger Band. Who wants to see these tools, guys? Give me a big fat yes down below, and then we'll show you these tools. I want to see how excited you guys are to see this, because this is like the stuff they put together is insane. I think you actually can show not just what the tools show you, but also how accurate they were as well. Like some of the, which is no one else does that. Rosemary says yes, please. We've got one yes so far, guys. Two, David, Linda, here they all come. Brilliant. Okay, so I'll share your screen again, mate, if you want to. I can see me at the minute. Oh, there we go.
You should be able to see my screen now.
Yes, can see it now, mate.
All right, folks. This is what we call the Trade Finder. Now, the Trade Finder was something that we introduced to our training probably about 3 years, well, about 2.5 years ago now. And this was a massive game changer, because, like I said earlier, this is a tool that's driven completely by an AI, and it automatically reads all those technical indicators, the Bollinger Bands and the MACD and the RSI and so on, and it spits out what we call these probabilities. Now, I mentioned early on something called a squeeze, okay? Now, that's when the Bollinger Bands are starting to come together. We look at squeezes, we look at anticipated dips. This is where the AI anticipates that a coin is about to drop in price. Okay. Look at that, folks. Right. So I'm going to measure the top there. Top to bottom, 1.63% versus here, 1.06%. So we can definitely see that it's moving into a squeeze as well. So, folks, yes, this software is very accurate. There's tools that show you different things.
Awesome. So you've got everything with this tool that show you it does all the technical analysis for you. You go in and decide whether you want to take the trade based on their training. But Paul, that was brilliant. The tools you've given us there, that tool is amazing. Awesome. I'm going to show you once more how to get it, guys, including the tools. Okay, for me, it's important you get them tools, because they'll help. You know, you can see the help is going to be they take out all the confusion. Anything else you want to say, Paul, before we call it a day?
No, I just want to say thanks so much. My voice is done. I can't speak anymore.
Yeah.
For joining us, guys. It's been a real pleasure. Add me as a friend on Facebook. I'm happy to answer any questions. Just anything that you throw my way, I'm happy to answer if you're a member of Icoin Pro. And look forward to working with you guys. Look forward to answering your questions. Look forward to getting to know you. Wayne, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, guys. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you in the next live. Take care, everybody. Yeah, bye-bye.